Skills in Tarkov are an important mechanic and can be used to expand your gameplay potential. Personally, I don't like to be a slow PMC either. That's why I choose to max my skills ASAP. We're going to break down exactly the methods and tips that I use to help me get these skills maxed in less than 3 weeks, so let's jump right in. I know leveling skills can seem very daunting at first, especially if you're not sure the best methods. Trust me, I've been there. I'm going to teach you everything that I learned across the last 7 wipes of leveling skills, and if you follow the methods in this video, you'll be surprised at just how fast your skills can level. In this video, we're going to break down the basics of skill leveling, leveling multipliers, the main secret or method, how to maximize this method, the air filter and is it worth it, additional skills, as well as ending tips to help you increase every skill. To understand how to level skills efficiently, you got to understand the basics of leveling skills. Every skill in Tarkov starts at level 0 and levels up until 51, which is the max for every single skill in the game. Now, at 51, you unlock the elite perk, which is what makes skill leveling so worth it. This is what you want. It is so good. So, every skill has its own unique elite perk. So, for example, endurance is a 75% increased stamina buff. Strength allows you to have the left side of your PNC be weightless. So you can see I have all this gear on my character over here, and my weight is 0. Things like attention allow you to search containers instantly, and you can search things at once. Now, to level skills, you have to gain points by doing the activities the skill requires. So for endurance, you have to move while underweight, which is when your weight is gray like it is right here. For strength, you need to move around or while overweight, or you could throw grenades. To level up metabolism, you just eat or drink. To level up things like attention, you search stationary loot containers like PCs, duffel bags, weapon boxes. And to level up search, you search things like the pockets or the backpack of a PMC that you killed or a scav, stuff like that. Now we need to understand what I call leveling multipliers. There was a system added into the game a while back to stop people from abusing leveling the same skill all raid, like punching your friend with the melee to level up your strength for a 40-minute raid. So there are 3 main multipliers you need to worry about. We're going to refer to these as the bonus multiplier, the normal multiplier, and the exhausted multiplier. So the bonus state is a state where you get at the beginning of a raid where you gain skill at 129% progression speed. This is noted by a blue arrow next to the skill, which means that you get this bonus. Now, once you reach a certain threshold, the multiplier will change to normal. Now, the normal status is a status where you gain skill points at 100% speed. So you get them at a normal rate, 100%, and this is shown by a lack of arrow next to the skill at all. It's very hard to get to this point, but it is still something that you, if you see, you need to know about. And once you pass the threshold for normal, you get the exhausted state. Now, the exhausted state is what we're worried about. This is a 50% reduction in leveling speed, and we can see this by a red arrow next to the skill. And this occurs once we pass that normal threshold. So once we hit the exhaustion threshold, it makes it very not worth to spam level a skill. And after we don't level a skill for a while, you do gain more of a multiplier. You can read more about this on the wiki page if you look up leveling multipliers for skills. I'm not going to go too far into it. It's not too important. But it is important to understand that there is a bonus zone where we gain more points, and that there is a zone where we gain less points. So we're going to use this bonus zone to seriously help us level up these skills a lot. If you don't know what the bonus zone is, that means you just skipped here and you watched the last section. I recommend you watch that to get the most out of understanding what I'm talking about here. So whenever you want to level up strength or endurance, you just have to run or walk, right? So the way that we're going to abuse this bonus zone is we're going to run out our entire stamina bar without ever stopping at the beginning of the raid. Now, why do we do this? So as you're running around with leveling strength or endurance, whether you're underweight or overweight, the points that I'm gaining right now from running are stored up, right? I don't have the point set that I got for just running. They don't apply to my character until I jump or I stop running. The second I stop, all the points are applied at once. And all of those points are added from the multiplier that I was on before I started running. So that means if I run out my entire stamina bar, I can get all those points times 129%, right? So I got a 29% bonus on all of those points. However, if I only went halfway through the stamina bar, right, I'd get 129% for the first half, and then I'd already be exhausted, and the second half of the stamina bar would actually only be 50%. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like and how many points you actually gain for running through a full stamina bar, and then I'm going to show you how we can build off this principle to get an insane amount of points per raid and literally cut the number of raids in half it takes to get max skills. I have my friend Yemen go ahead and record this so I can show you guys since I have max endurance. So you see he starts at 69.4 endurance with the bonus zone, and what he's going to do is run out his entire stamina bar like this. So he never stops, he never jumps, doesn't do anything. The second you jump or you stop moving, all of those points are applied, and this is with no air filter at all. So we'll talk about air filter later. We're not going to worry about that right now. But as you can see, he runs in a straight line, and you should do this at the start of all your raids. The second you get in, just run through that whole stamina bar and make sure you're doing this every single raid, because the second he stops, he's going to get that surge of points times that multiplier bonus. And you can see he's about to finish right here, and he's going to show us the points that he gains. And as you can see, he's now in the exhaustion zone, and he's gone from 69.4 points to 73.7 points out of 100. Now, I'm going to show you the difference now that he has that exhaustion debuff, so he gets only 50% skill leveling. He starts with about 73.7 points, and he's going to run his next full stamina bar. So here you can see him finishing out the stamina bar, and you can see just how much the exhaustion debuff will really affect skill leveling. He starts at 73.7 and ends at 74.9. That's only a 1.2 skill gain, which is a 25% of what we got with the bonus multiplier. So I know you're thinking, 4 points for a stamina bar is nothing. Did you clickbait me? How am I supposed to get max skills fast? Well, my method relies on using that bonus zone and pretty much exploiting that bonus to gain the most amount of points, right? We talked about how all those points are stored, and then they're released at once times that multiplier. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a way to be able to run farther and run longer on a stamina bar. Now, how do we do that? We increase our strength skill, or we increase our endurance. Okay, how do we do that? We use stimulants. There are two really good stims in the game that I use to help increase my my strength and endurance to get these skills faster. One is called the SJ6. It increases your endurance regen as well as your stamina, so you can run farther. And then the 3BTG gives you strength skill, which means you run faster, so you actually gain more distance while you are on this stim, because you have more strength, so you gain more points as well. This works for both strength and endurance, and I'm going to show you guys the results of using just one of each stim and then using both of them combined. So here we're starting off with an endurance of 69.3, and we're going to be testing the SJ6 stimulant. Now, I used to use these every single raid when I was leveling my skills. I do it all the time. It helps you boost so much, and when you combine it with the other stim, it helps a lot more. So he's going to run his entire stamina bar here, and it's going to come to an end, and you're going to see that he ends at a skill level of 74.9, meaning he got a 5.6%, 5.6 skill increase, which is about 20% more than with no stim. So here we're also starting off at 69.3 points for endurance, and we're going to pop a 3-BTG stimulant. Make sure that you look it up at the parentheses, or else it won't come from the market. And this increases our strength so that we can run farther on a stamina bar, so we gain more points. Now, he's going to run his whole stamina bar, and you're going to see him come to an end over here. It doesn't last as long as an SJ6 in terms of points, so you gain a little bit less. However, he goes up 5 points, ending at 74.3, which is still more than no stim. So this is starting off at 69.3 endurance yet again, and we are going to be using both the SJ6 and the 3-TG stimulants, which are insane when combined together. He actually ends up running for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, so I cut it down as much as I could, and he ends up pretty much finishing his stamina bar at the gas station, where he goes up to 76.1 points, which is a 6.8 point difference, and he ends up going up 2.5 points more than if he didn't use stims at all, which is a huge difference. So this method should not change the way that you play the game normally, because you can do this at the start of every raid you play, whether you're questing, making money, whatever you're doing to maximize these skills. You get around 7 points a raid popping both these stims, and then from the exhaustion perk, you should still go up around another point or two from your next couple stamina bars as well, so you can get around 10 points a raid, give or take. So about 10 raids to do either a level of strength or endurance, which is really, really quick, because you can speedrun these raids if you want to. Now, on top of that, you can even min-max this farther, where you can abuse the bonus perk for both strength and endurance each raid, where what I was doing was I was going to raid overweight. Like, I'd bring in shotgun shells, and you can bring in, like, sometimes there's mags you can buy from Jaeger where they weigh a lot for shotguns, and you can assure them you go get them back because no one wants them. And pretty much what you do is you run out your whole first stamina bar on its strength, and you get those points back, and then you drop all that extra weight, and then you run out the whole next stamina bar on endurance, right? Or you can swap with a friend where he runs with a backpack full of shotgun shells, and then at the end, When you both are out of stamina, you swap bags. So you have the shotgun shells now, and like he does endurance, and then you do strength, and you vice versa. So you can get the bonus for each one of these skills in the same raid. So you can go up around 10 points of strength and 10 points of endurance if you min max it per raid. So in 10 raids, you can go up one level of strength and level of endurance, and the more that you level these skills, the more points that you are going to gain, because the more strength and endurance you have, the faster and farther you can run on these stimulants, and then you get more points, and it just goes until it's how you have it maxed. Now, air filter is really good, and we'll talk about why. So what I was talking about is from level 1 Jaeger, you actually can go ahead and you can buy these MP153 12-gauge 5-shot magazines. They weigh about 1 kilo each, and they're super cheap, and they never sell out. There's so many per restock, right? So pretty much everyone you put on your character is 1 kilo each. So I'm at 7.4 now, and I just go up weight super easily carrying these. And you're like, okay, well, why would I use this over buckshot, right? Well, the reason is you actually can insure them, and to insure each one, it costs 200 rubles, right? So you can go to the game screen, okay, and go into any map you want to. Let's say customs, and I want to insure my whole backpack, right? With all this stuff, costs me 18k, most of the backpack. You can see like the backpack 16k, so it's 2k for all of these. And then what I do is I drop them all on the ground, and they'll always come back. So pretty much once you buy like 40 or 50 of them, the next day they'll all come back, and like you'll be good, and they just keep coming in and out, and you can sell them back, or you could just use them again. So the question I was getting in my chat is, does air filter actually help you get max skills faster? And the answer is yes, it does, because air filter, when you build it, I know it's very expensive, but it gives you a like 40% leveling bonus when it's when you have no hideout management skill. And at my level, it's 48.4. You need to put an FP100 filter in here, which you can buy off the market. It lasts about 18-19 hours, and it takes fuel to run this, right? But what this does is this 40% bonus will stack on top of my bonus multiplier for leveling skills at the start of the raid. On top of my SJ6, on top of my 3BTG, I was getting around like anywhere from like 10 to like 15 points a raid, depending on how long I was in the raid, off the first bar, as well as the fact that the additional stamina bars were increased by, or the additional points were increased by 40%, even though I was exhausted. So it helps you gain a lot of points that you would be missing out on otherwise, especially off that first stamina bar. Now, again, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to grind out air filter or SJ6 through BTG every single raid. But if you can, and as often as you can, it's really good. Like maybe when you go Shoreline or Lighthouse, you SJ6 every raid, but other maps maybe you don't. And it's still that SJ6, and when you have a stamina bar, will add up over the long run. Now, something else to mention is that if you don't have Bitcoin farm yet and you want to save your filters, what you can do is turn off your power, and the filter stops actually being consumed while the power is off. So you can do that to save your filters as well if you don't want to spend too much money on your air filters. Now, there are tons of great skills in the game that you want to get higher to make your life easier, and we can do that by making sure that we abuse that bonus multiplier for every single skill, every single raid. So I do that with things like search, metabolism, recoil control, attention, and mag drills. Search can be leveled by going ahead and searching your friend's backpack at the end of the raid. Have them drop one on the ground, you drop yours, and you search them while they're on the ground. If you pick them up, it will not count towards search, so make sure the bags stay on the ground. Metabolism, you can level that up by eating and drinking everything you see, as well as using Golden Star as painkiller. Golden Star will make you lose food, and then you regen food and water slowly, and both the losing and the regenning of food will count as you eating and drinking for some reason. Recoil control, it will be leveled up by shooting the mags of enemies like scavs, PMCs, or raiders. If they have bad ammo, just spray their mags at the wall, and you'll get free points every raid, or you could dump your ammo if you have cheap ammo if you want to. Attention can be leveled up by looting 4 to 8 containers per raid. That's what I do to make sure that I get this. It takes a long time to level up, but if you do play the game a lot, it's really cool to have it maxed. And for mag drills, I make sure that I unpack either my own mag or a scav mag at the end of the raid if I need to get that skill up. And just taking that 2 to 3 minutes can really help you level up those skills and make your wipe so much more enjoyable. Now, just some final send-offs about skill leveling overall is that the most points that you gain are from that bonus zone. So what I recommend if you want to level up your skills fast is that you play shorter raids. I usually play around 10-minute raids or shorter, and the reason for this is I don't want to die to player scavs, but it ends up helping me level my skills as well. So I try to get in, do some things, and get out quick, reset, and then most of the points come from that bonus zone, so like I'm getting the most amount of points quickly, as opposed to staying in raids for an hour where I'm only getting the bonus zone one time ever. Now, I also would say if you want to level up stamina or endurance or strength fast, you can do things like factory, where you run through your whole stamina bar in factory and then you run out. Now, be careful when you are doing strats to level up your strength or endurance, because if you ever disconnect from a raid, it rolls back all skill progress that you earned in that last raid. So if you want to like go like hatchet run, pop SJ6 through BTG, run your stamina bar out so you get max points, and then get out of the raid, you have to either grenade yourself, die to a scav, or die somehow. If you DC, you will not gain any of those points. And you could also, pistol run, or you could like money run shoreline. You can do things to incorporate this into your gameplay. You could go out of your way to level skills, or you can do this with your normal gameplay. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. Guys, that was the guide. I know I could have made a guide saying just buy air filter and buy SJ6 and buy 3BTG, but I really enjoy making the guides where I not only tell you what I'm doing, but why I'm doing it, because now you can see how important this bonus stone is. So maybe you go out of your way to level your other skills every single raid as well. But hopefully you have a better insight on how fast the leveling can happen, because again, with that 10 to like 14 points of strength a raid, you can be leveling up that skill like it's nothing, and you can blow through that in just a session of like quick running shoreline for money, or quick running, factory reserve. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the bell to see more when they go live, hit that sub, check out the stream, guys. I'm live every single day, noon Eastern. I'll probably be late like I usually am, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out, and I will see you next time.